Hi, it's Friday, May 27th, 2016. This is Maneko 64, the home of alternative economics and contrarian thinking. This morning, I'm going to be talking about currency or economic and global reset. These are terms that are, especially in the last 2 years, have popped up on the internet, alternative media, even in the mainstream media. And also I'll be talking about a gold-backed yuan, which is something you hear about all the time, in the alternative media, especially not in the mainstream media. And have to go back to like 2015. I think it was April 2015. Christine Lagarde, president or head of the IMF, made a speech, and she said we're facing a global economic reset, and that, I think triggered a lot of this talk of currency reset. So with that in mind, I like to say that, in my opinion, you can only have a currency reset if you have a fixed rate exchange system for the global monetary system, and we don't. We had Bretton Woods, which was, the seeds were planted in 1944 during the crisis of World War II. So, the world was in chaos back then. So they decided to start the Bretton Woods system, and they fixed the global currencies at the time against the dollar and also the British pound. Don't forget, the British pound was part of the basket. It was mostly the dollar, but the pound was there too. So that system lasted till basically 1973. It was I think in 73 that at the Smithsonian Institute meeting, they decided to float all the exchange rates. So, yeah, and that was triggered, of course, by President Nixon closing the gold window in 1971, which basically did not, block countries from exchanging their dollar reserves for gold, at $35 per ounce. So that killed the fixed exchange rate system. Well, that didn't kill it right away, but it triggered it, and then 2 years later we went on floating exchange rates, and the forex market has ballooned since then. So I would say you can't really have an official reset right now, because we have resets every day. Every day that currencies move against each other, they're resetting themselves. So, in my opinion, the only way you could have a reset if you have a collapse of the present petrodollar system, which is a fiat money, global reserve currency, the U.S. dollar, or the Federal Reserve note. And in my opinion, if that were to happen, all the other currencies would also collapse. And the only thing that currencies, all the fiat currencies can, all in unison, collapse against is gold and silver. Because if you have the dollar collapsing against the euro and the yuan, the Chinese and the Europeans are not going to be very happy, and you can trust me that they'll try to weaken their currencies right away, to try to counter that. So the only currencies that we can see financial meltdown of the fiat system against is gold and silver, and that's why the price of gold and silver is so important to keep an eye on. And at the moment, it doesn't feel like we're going to have a reset anytime soon. But one thing I can say is that if there was going to be a reset, we wouldn't be told about it, and we wouldn't be told that it would be against gold and silver, because speculators would ruin, the plan if they knew in advance. It's a bit like in 1933, 33, 34. That was the last time the U.S. Had a reset, really, if you think about it, because when Roosevelt took over as president, inaugurated in 1933, I think it was March at the time, inauguration, he had to close all the banks. There was a bank holiday. The U.S. financial system was melting down. There were runs on the banks, and he banned also people from owning gold, and he confiscated all the gold. And at the time, it was $20.67 per ounce, per troy ounce. And then, January 1934, the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, revalued or reset the dollar to $35 per troy ounce. But people didn't know that was going to happen. If he had told people before January 1934, oh, we're going to reset the dollar to 35 an ounce, you would do the most you could to keep your gold, because you'd make a pretty big profit there. I think it was 75% profit. So I think only the insiders knew that, and most of them moved their gold to other countries like Switzerland and places like that, and they made a killing. But the majority of Americans, they didn't know that was going to happen. So what I'm trying to say is, if there's going to be a reset, it can only happen when not only the dollar but all fiat currencies collapse or drop precipitously and quickly against gold and silver. And then you can think about maybe the IMF meeting and creating a new currency and setting the price of gold at a certain level, against the dollar, the yuan, the euro, the pound, the Swiss franc, and then also including gold as part of this new global currency, which could be called an SDR. But that doesn't mean we're going to be paying with SDRs in the US or in the UK or in France. We're still going to have our national currencies, but the reserve currency in terms of transactions between central banks will be the SDR. And I think they'll have to back it by gold, because all confidence will have been lost in the fiat money system. So that's my idea of a reset. We won't know when it's going to be. And in terms of the gold-backed yuan, I don't think there's a chance in hell that the Chinese would back their currency by gold at the moment. Only because if they did that, the yuan would go through the roof. And as you saw recently, if anything, the yuan has been devalued by the Chinese only because the dollar strengthened after the Fed minutes came out. So, because the yuan is pretty much pegged against the dollar, so they would only back it by gold, the yuan, if they became, part of this global currency. And so they could join in and say, yeah, here's our gold. You can back this new gold currency with gold. But I don't think the Chinese are going to back their currency by gold. That would be very deflationary for their economy. So yeah, that's my view on global reset, gold-backed yuan. It will probably come about, but it won't only be the yuan that will be gold-backed. The whole, the new global currency, whatever you want to call it, will be backed. Will have some gold backing, and the dollar, the euro, and a lot of people have noted that The Economist magazine from 1988 had a golden phoenix rising from the ashes, and it said new world currency, and it had 2018 on it. So maybe we're, if you believe in those things, maybe we're close to that. But we first need to see a collapse of all fiat money currencies against gold and silver. And until we see that, we can't really have a reset because we're, already have resets every day, as I said. So yeah, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I make videos regularly, and if you really enjoyed it and you think other people should know about what I say, please share it with other people. And thanks for all the support and the new subscribers. Take care. Bye.